Hey guys, I've been receiving a lot of comments on my YouTube channel and also on my paid courses asking to slow down the pace. These comments are from people who have a little bit of a trouble following especially the coding sections in my tutorials. At first, I was really considering ways to make that happen, ways to slow down my videos, but actually that is a very bad idea for me to do. And looking back at my game dev education, at how I approached following paid courses and also free and paid tutorials, this is not how you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to watch a video and follow at your own pace, because usually when you watch a tutorial or a course, you are in the position of a beginner on that subject. Maybe overall you are an intermediate level developer or even an advanced level developer, but on the particular subject of the video, maybe you are still a beginner, you lack a lot of knowledge. So naturally, the pace at which you're going to be understanding the concepts is not going to be exactly the pace at which the instructor is teaching those concepts. And of course, there is also the fact that everyone has their own pace. Maybe someone likes it a little bit slower. Maybe someone else likes it a little bit faster. So it's really a challenge to find the right balance, especially for me, from my position as a content creator. So what I suggest to you is this. Actually, having the course or the tutorial being at a faster pace than what you can handle is a great thing, because the main problem when watching tutorials is being passive. You're watching tutorials like you do a TV show on Netflix, for example, and at the end of the video, you got a few informations here and there, and maybe you've succeeded in gathering like 30% of the knowledge in that video. I don't know about you, but I don't like to waste my time. If I watch a video, I want to get 100% of the content, and even more, I want to get like 200%. I want to understand beyond what the instructor is saying. I want to do research and really go full into what the instructor has not talked about enough. So indeed, I can get a ton of information, more than 100% of what the video contains. And so far in my game dev journey, I've only managed to do that through a proactive approach to watching videos. What this means is I never watch a video back to back without ever stopping. I'm always pausing the video. I'm always rewinding. I'm always stopping to apply what I learned and also do searches on Google or asking ChatGPT for clarifications. So it's a very active approach. And this is basically what I want you to do and how I want you to approach my content or any content online. I want you to get the most value out of the videos you're watching, because that time is precious. Watching a video for the purpose of just accumulating knowledge for no end is obviously not a good idea. You have to have a project in mind. You have to have a purpose for what you're doing, and I don't want you to waste your time. So what you're going to do, the best strategy that I can advise you to follow, and of course it will depend on the subject matter. For example, if it's a 3D art tutorial, it will differ a little bit from a programming tutorial, but my approach usually is to watch the full video back to back and try to understand and get an overview of where the instructor is going. I also do it while walking on my treadmill or while doing a physical activity. So this first time you watch the video is not necessarily to follow along and apply what you watch. It's just to see where the instructor is going, where the course is headed. And then the second time you watch the video, and perhaps you can leave some room between the first time you watch and the second time. For example, you could watch it the next day. So when you watch it again, now you have to watch it with your Unity editor open, or for example, if it's a tutorial on plasticity or Blender, watch it while those programs are open. And every time the instructor says something, you stop the video and then you go to your program, you apply what you learn. Now, this is the best strategy that will save you the maximum amount of time and get you the maximum knowledge out of the course content or tutorial content that you're taking. Another thing I will say to you is to not judge the quality of the video during this process. For example, when you watch the video for the first time, you may say to yourself, I don't like where this is going. The instructor is wrong. Perhaps they don't know that this other technique exists. So perhaps it's not even worth it to take the video. But that's the wrong mindset to have, because every technique, everything that people teach has some value in the real world. Sometimes on a project, you're out of time. You have to deliver before a deadline. For example, if you are taking part in a game jam and you have a time limit, you can't afford yourself the luxury of really going all in on the design patterns in your code and designing the code in a structured way and an efficient and elegant way. Sometimes you have to go with the most basic techniques that you know. And for other projects, you may have a client waiting for your iteration on the project. You may have a game on Steam and people are waiting for an important update, and you're holding them off just because you want to restructure one of your game systems. So what I'm saying is sometimes you have to accept that your code is not going to be as elegant as you want it to be. And I'm not only talking about programming projects, I'm also talking about like art and perhaps writing books. Sometimes you have to be okay with the result being not as glamorous and as perfect as you want it to be. So you have to use these basic techniques, and the only way to learn that, the only way to learn how to go back to these more basic stuff or to have an open mind and perhaps try different techniques is to actually not judge when you watch tutorials and courses. Okay, here's another point. Sometimes you don't know the wisdom behind something. Maybe something you will judge it as a simple technique or something that's not even worth your time, but actually doing it that simple way has a lot of benefits for what comes after that. So you kind of have to give the instructor the benefit of the doubt and really accept within yourself that you have to be modest. You have to not be so arrogant as to think that you know everything, even if it's very obvious. You have to say to yourself that perhaps there is a hidden wisdom there. And in perhaps almost all the instances where I've taken tutorials, where I've taken courses, whether they're paid or not, there was always something that I didn't know. I always get some hidden information that I didn't know about or I wasn't sure about. It's almost a guarantee that you'll get that stuff. So never judge. You might lose out on things. You may think that things are very simple and you will not get a lot of value out of them, but actually what you're learning may have some hidden wisdom within it, and it will be a shame. It would be a shame to skip that content, and perhaps it could be a game changer in your life. I remember a lot of instances where I fell deep into some really tricky situations with Unity, with C++, with other game engines like Construct 2 and 3 and Unreal Engine. Some situations where it was really difficult to see where the problem is and how to solve it. But the only way I could solve it is by falling back into some basic techniques, and thanks to my mastery of the basics. You may think that things such as, for example, the variable types in C# and the fundamentals of your game engine, your programming language, or the basic principles of 3D art, like for example topology and how it should be organized. You may think that this stuff is very basic and not worth learning, but actually when shit hits the fan, sometimes you can only rely on those basics to get you out of a jam. And if you believe that this stuff is too boring, is too easy, and not worth learning more about, then you're going to have a shaky foundation in your game dev career. At some point, you're going to face some really difficult challenges, and if you don't have a really tight grasp on the fundamentals, then you will be lost. You will be always relying on these advanced techniques, but the basics that you skipped are sometimes the only thing that can get you out of these problems. All right, so let's recap. We said that the best way to watch a tutorial is in a proactive way. Do not, and I repeat it, do not watch tutorials like you do for movies and TV shows. It's not the same goal. You're not here to get entertained. Leave that for other people. Here you are learning to become a game developer, learning to use Unity, Unreal Engine, Blender, Plasticity. No matter what subject you're learning about, you are there to learn. Your goal is to basically take the knowledge that's in the video and put it in your brain. That's if you want a really down to earth explanation of it, that's it. And the best way to do this is to watch the video at least twice. The first time is just to get an overview of the lesson. The second time is to actually follow the lesson to the letter, stop the video at many points. And this surprises me when I read comments on some of my videos of people getting surprised that they paused the video once or twice. I mean, once or twice are really rookie numbers. When I watch a 10-minute video about a subject that I'm really interested in and I want to learn, I mean, the least I could do is pause the video at least 20 times. So every 30 seconds, I'll be pausing the video, taking notes and applying what I just learned, or looking for more clarifications online. And all of these things are important. Take notes, look online for more sources of information. The best way that I found to really get a good grasp of any subject is the triangulation technique, where you try to look at the problem from different perspectives. Perhaps you will watch the same or at least the tutorial on the same subject from 3 different people who have perhaps different perspectives on the subject, and you would learn from each one of them. And some of them will cover the subject better than other people in some places, and vice versa. Some other instructor may cover a part of the subject a little bit better than the other instructors. So when you combine all of these informations in your brain, now you have the best possible version of all of these informations. And basically, you're going to be unstoppable. I'm telling you this. You are going to be freaking unstoppable. An unstoppable force of nature, an unstoppable game dev beast. And this is all I'm about. I'm about making you a freaking monster in game development. I'm not here trying to teach you something that you will never use in your life. I'm teaching you some practical stuff that will save your ass in many situations. Okay? So stop being one of these people who ask me to slow down my pace when I'm coding or when I'm explaining something. I don't remember who said it, but it goes something like, do not ask for your life to be easier. Ask to become a stronger person. And that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to become a stronger learner in game development, where you can take any tutorial out there and make it your own, and really dive into it, really grab it with your fingers, with your teeth, and never let go until you get the maximum juice out of it and the maximum knowledge. That is really going to be a game changer in your game dev career, because a lot of people think that game developers or in any domain, you believe that what makes a strong 3D artist is the amazing work that they've made. But actually, it's not that. Actually, it's their process within their 3D software. For example, in Blender, are they capable of working comfortably, working for a long time? Have they set up their environment in a way that promotes creativity? Because one single instance of work could suck. I mean, as a game developer, you could make a game that's absolutely trash, but that's only one instance of your work. Next week, you may make another game and it could be a success, and you may make other games beyond that, and some of them will succeed and some of them will fail. But what's not going to change is your inner workflow, what you're doing inside of the Unity editor, inside of Unreal Engine, inside of even your mind, how you structure things, how you gather information, and how you organize and apply that information. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye. Don't hesitate to post any suggestion you have on this type of content. I'm going to try to work on these soft skills a little bit more and talk about them, because it's not only about the hard skills like creating art, programming, and doing all of that. It's also about a lot of soft skills that you have to really cultivate and develop along the way. All right, bye bye.